All right, guys, we are going to be reacting to this. Alone broke over 60. I sold everything to start over. My real story. Damn, let's jump in, see what's going on.
Alone, broke, over 60. What to do?
And a boomer.
Well, that's a good question, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But that's exactly what I was facing a little over 3 years ago, about 4 years ago. Had a home, had all that. Lost my wife to a car wreck, lost my parents to cancer.
Damn.
All of a sudden, I'm alone. Now I have this big home. My income didn't change. Property taxes go up. Utilities go up. Cost of maintenance went up. Now I'm looking at a stack of bills, knowing the math don't math. What do I do? Well, at first, I wallowed in my misery. I failed. Couldn't hold the fort, so to speak. Then I come to the realization, I've got to do something, right or wrong. So for me, I decided, well, the only asset I have left is my home. That's it. So I put it on the chopping block. Took me a little over a year to sell the home. Get it listed, go through 2 different real estate companies, and get the home sold. So during that year, well, we all know what happens there. You start looking at everything you got. I had a full house. I had my sister's things who died of COVID.
Damn.
I had my mother's things, my father's, my brother-in-law's, and some of my wife's.
No kids.
So I didn't just have myself to go through. I had everybody that I loved. I had a garage full of tools, equipment, multiple vehicles, and all of it staring at me like a mountain. What am I going to do about it all? Well, for me, the only option was get organized, inventory what I got, and start selling everything to the bare walls. Because in order to rebuild a life after collapse, my theory was,
You have to let it go.
you got to have some money to do it.
Sell a pen?
So I started selling everything, right to the bare walls. Furniture, what little bit of artwork I had, my stamp collection, anything and everything that could possibly turn into money. Went through the garage, sold all the tools, most of them. Anything that had any value. Because in order to start over, I had to radically change my life. I had to radically change how I was thinking and approaching life over 60. So, for that year, everything had to go. And so it did. Sold the house, sold everything in it, ended up getting down to pretty much what I could carry in the back of a truck, which wasn't a whole lot. A little traffic this morning. So now I've sold the home. I have a check in my hand. I pretty much sold everything that had any value, what was in the outbuildings, everything that was in the home, everything that was in the garage. So now I have a check and I have a mountain of debt. So I got my pencil and paper out and started going down the list. Paid everybody off. By the time I got done, well, guys, there wasn't a whole lot left.
Mm.
I had enough to buy an old box truck, and I had enough to buy an old camper. So, and by the time I got to that point, that was pretty much the end of the money. So, then I had the opportunity, well, before I get to that point, so where do I go, right? Because the home is gone now. You have a camper and a pickup truck and a box truck that you filled up with what you couldn't get rid of. And since I didn't want to be paying $200 a month or whatever for a storage unit, I decided the box truck was a good way to keep what I still had left over instead of paying a monthly fee.
Mm.
Because at this point now, every dollar counts. You're looking for ways not to spend money. And that's what I was doing. So moving on from that point, where do you go? Where do you go? You're homeless. Well, fortunately, I had a friend call me up and said, hey, I've got a piece of property. I want to know if you'd like to go there. You can live there for rent free and just take care of the property and keep an eye on it.
Mm.
Now to me, that was heaven sent. It solved my immediate problem. Where am I going to go? So that's what I did. I took up the offer. And for the most part, it's been good. So I got here with my little old camper, set up shop, no running water, no power, nothing.
Mm.
But I had a place to park. I made it work. It took time and effort, of course, and turned it into my tiny little place you've seen here. Okay, now what? Well, now I'm wallowing in my misery. I'm thinking, well, I failed. I made a huge mistake. And it took me another 2 years to change my thinking on that.
Mm.
To figure out, how do I recover? How do I get back? How do I turn this all around? So that's where you end up. And if you watch some of my earlier videos, I was a train wreck, guys. I was a mess. Did I know what I was doing? No. Everything was trial and error. All I knew is I had to stop the financial loss.
Mm-hmm.
I had to stop the bleeding. And the only way I could do that was watch every dollar. Because when you're living on $1,100 a month Social Security disability,
Damn.
you don't have a lot of them to play with.
That is so sad, man. The thing is that that kind of money doesn't even adjust through inflation, meaning they don't adjust that monthly payment through inflation. Probably back in the days when he was, his prime, $1,100 a month was the gig. That's why Social Security is it's not good, right? And on top of that, I think the federal government or the government itself, including state and federal, I think they take like 18% of per dollar, 18% per dollar of each dollar that you put into the bucket. It's not worth it, man.
So I kept my costs extremely low. Learned to separate my wants from my needs.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole time, feeling miserable for having to do it. Not realizing that I was onto something here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because in order to rebuild or start a new life, you need to separate yourself from the old life.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're trying to do this and think you're going to hang on to everything along the way that you accumulated.
Mm-mm.
All the family mementos, all the treasures, all the tools, all the artwork, all the stamp collections, whatever it is you might have accumulated over the years. You can't. And when I said a radical change in thinking, that's what I mean. Literally sold myself to the four walls. Had to start completely over. And for the most part, it turned out pretty good. So here we are, 3.5 years later, and I've now managed to be able to start the process of getting my next homestead.
Wow.
I saved a $100 bill every month for the last 3 years.
That's a lot of money.
That helped.
Yep, that's a lot of money.
That gave me what I needed to start this next step in my life. No, that's not a lot of money, is it? No, it ain't. But it meant something to me. I had created a margin, something to work with. By keeping my costs at very minimum, I was able to put something aside.
Yep.
That allowed...
And that's right there. That's the trick of all this, guys. That's the trick of all this. Basically, he's just following the 10% rule. If he's only receiving $1,100 a month, he's putting $100, to the side. He's only following the 10% rules. Actually, they say it's 3% rule, but then, if you feel more comfortable, you go to the 10%, meaning it's 1,000, you put 100, it's at 10,000, you put 1,000, 100,000, 10,000, so on and so forth. And that's something that you only learn about it later on life. Because you're trying to figure out what's going on. You still want something better. If you put that into a savings account, in the long run, you're winning. You're retired. You are retired. If I knew this kind of thing right when I was 18 and I start saving money, by now, I'll be a multimillionaire. But I didn't know it. I did not know it, bro. I did not know it. I'm 37 right now, so now, thankfully I started now. So I look at him and I'm like, okay, so I'm not in a bad position. I need to create urgency, more urgency.
Me to take this next step. No, it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
A lot of tough months there, especially in the winter.
Yep.
Because you're thinking, well, you could go do this, or you could go do that. But every time I would go do that, I was putting myself a step behind.
Yep.
In reaching my goal. Then I started this YouTube channel. And at first, it was just a place
to talk.
For me to shout into the void and feel miserable, dejected, alone, rejected, scared, vulnerable. But something changed. I built a community. We built a community. And through that, everybody uplifted me. I got feeling better about myself, feeling better about the choices I made, started really narrowing down what I wanted to do moving forward. And you guys helped shape all that. And for that, I truly thank you. So, I've sold everything. I've paid everybody off that I owed. I've built up a small cushion, a margin, and now it's time to start the new life. But in order to do that, guys, you really have to separate yourself from the old one. You can't take it with you. You can't box it all up, throw it in the storage unit, and say, I'm going to keep all this. You're not.
No, you can't do that, man.
All you've done is tied an anchor around your neck. When I say radical change, I mean exactly that. Clothes on your back, basic necessities, food, water, and shelter.
That's it.
That's it. You cut back on the trips to town. You cut back eating out. You relearn how to cook for yourself. And you do the best by your animals. So that's what I did. Is this going to work for everybody? Probably not. Did it work for me? Yes. I made it work. Was it a victory?
Yes.
I like to think so now.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
I didn't appreciate it when I started it. Because when I started, I was just as confused as all of you. Where do you start? What's the first step? Where do you go from here? Well, that's what I did. Now, in about a month, I'll be moving on to my own piece of property. It took a little over 3 years, guys. But to me, that's the best part. Because over this 3 years, I've grown a lot. I've gotten a little bit wiser. And I've learned that sometimes you have to sacrifice everything to start new. So if you're facing this kind of a situation in life, you're going to have to change how you think. You're going to have to change how you approach it. There's no easy answers when you're going through this. Because when you're alone and broke and you've lost your life partner, you've lost the other half of your retirement.
Yeah.
Because
She
now,
probably was receiving something similar to that amount, probably less. $900 a month. That makes for a lot of these folks, that's a lot of difference, guys. That makes a
when you're
huge
trying to do
difference.
this on one income,
It's hard.
most of you are not going to make it. All depends on how well you prepared. And for me, life got in the way. Through the loss of my family members, that of course eventually wiped me out financially.
Damn.
So there I ended up. But now, I feel good. I don't have much to worry about. I don't worry about what's coming in the mailbox. It's taken a long time to get where I'm at. No, it's not perfect. But for the most part, I'm happy.
I'm glad.
I sleep well at night. Things are looking up. I feel good about things.
Yeah, 60 is the
I
new
feel
young,
good
man.
about the future.
Yeah, 60 years old. I mean, over 60, 65. Let's say that this stressful experience aged him a little bit. But 60, you still have time, man. Like people in the 60s are it's not like 70 years ago where you become 63 and they're already expecting you to die in 2 years after that. It's not like that. We're talking about people going up way beyond that, 85, 95, and he looks like he walk and all this stuff. He's probably very healthy. So yeah, he can change the world next 10 years or even 20 years.
So if you're looking to have to make a change like this, don't wait too long. Time is of the essence. The longer you wait, the deeper the hole you're going to get into.
Wow.
So if you can move now, while you still have options and choices, this is the time to act. Don't wait too long, because you might not recover. And again, I want to stress, this may not work for everybody, but it worked for me. You're going to have to change how you think. You're going to have to change how you live your life. You're going to have to learn to sacrifice everything in order to do it. You can't hold on to the old life expecting a new life.
Mm-hmm.
That's that simple. Anyways, guys, that's what I got for today. Some of you had asked, well, how did I go about it? Well, that's pretty much how I did it, guys. Sacrificed everything. Shedded the old skin for new skin. And now, getting ready to make the new change. And if you're going to try something like this, think it through, plan accordingly, and be prepared for the ups and the downs, the emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
Because it's hard. It's painful to let go of what was. But if you can embrace what can be, well, I'll see you on the other side then.
Wow, that's powerful. Powerful, yeah, man. And he did it, man. He was not in the crazy, huh? I'm glad. I'm glad. He came to my feed and I said, I had to react to this. I had to react to this because it does put things in perspective. And I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks in the last couple months. I'm like weeks, I'll say. I made a change in my life, meaning I said, you know what? Instead of just listening to music, I'm going to take working out as part of my moment to self develop, to optimize the self development aspect of it. I'm going to listen to audiobooks. Hours, hours, hours. I think by now I have over, uh, oof, more than 30 hours of audiobooks so far. Committed. And sometimes what I notice is sometimes my brain wants to be comfortable, wants to feel comfortable. And I noticed that feeling just pops. And all of a sudden, you just want me to go back to listen to music. I can recognize that feeling and put it back where it belongs. And I force myself through action to listen to the audiobooks because I know that in itself is helping me to understand how money works, how the mindset works. And also before I go to bed, something that I've done in the last couple months, reading 2 pages at least, just to get that routine going. And just start thinking about it like it's just compound interest. Compound interest in knowledge and see where it led me or lead me, I will say. Yeah, because all this is just compound interest. Money is compound interest. Learning is compound interest. Working out is compound interest. Eating is compound interest. Everything is compound interest. And I think it's made like that for a reason. Because I don't think that quick feedback will be even healthy for us. I don't think that'll be that. I don't know how. Well, quick feedback. For example, if you're in a sport or in a high dexterity art, they give you quick feedback quick, and they do it very intensely. You know how your body reacts to those quick feedbacks. Most of the time, it's not good, right? But they are very good because that feedback is right there live, and life is like that. Life is like that. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you next one.